What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Market Thoughts. This is episode number 5. Again, just going to give my general thoughts about what's going on in the market, kind of my plays, what's going on, and then what Trump's doing kind of week to week because he's a big influence on the market. And let's just get right into it. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go to Bitcoin versus gold. My big two ones that I like to watch here. It's getting down near this 50 EMA line on the weekly, so I love to look at that. Potentially, again, anything near this 100,000 mark is good eats, good buys. I'm going to get in, so just waiting for it to drop a little bit lower. But we can also look at the monthly candles this week. I like this monthly candle just because going into November, hopefully going to see some uptrend here since this wasn't the full engulfing of this October candle. Other than that, nothing too big, nothing too different strategy-wise. Just going to keep averaging into this when I can. Gold, again, at near all-time highs, near that 4K mark. Gold on the month was good. Probably going to end up filling this next month would be my guess, as long as market keeps doing what it's doing. So probably going to see gold hopefully get back up to like 400-ish. We'll see. I'm not in it too heavy on gold, so I'm not worried about that much at all there. And then let's just go down the line, QQQ. It's got this little gap to fill here, so it might come down a little bit next week. We'll see how this plays out. There's some weird reactions going on up top, but it could keep trending up on this RSI, so we'll see. We also have Trump trade talks with China this week, so hopefully that's going to come out positive news. According to there's going to be a deal or something. So we'll see how the market reacts to that this week. There's also big earnings week this week, so we'll see how that goes. SPY, again, holding highs here. Might have to fill back down to this 673 mark before continuing on. But this is not a great candle to continue upwards, so we're probably going to see a down week on SPY this week. That would just be my general guess. And then moving our way through, I am not too worried about the general overall market, so your SPY and your QQQ. But I'm going to go on to my plays, and then I have a new strategy change, kind of what I'm doing here. So let's just go to FI first. So this was a leap that I was in, had really bad earnings, so I got out down here just because I didn't want to hold that any longer, and I lost a bunch of money on it already. So this is actually the reason that caused me to change my strategy up just a little bit. As you see, earnings came down. I was at 125. I was in 125 calls and came down to the $66 mark. So I'm changing up my strategy just a little bit. The strategy changes. I'm just going to stick to my quote-unquote Mag 7. So I'm going to just watch this week to week and get good at these specific companies instead of be an overall general trend with a bunch of different companies. So I'm going to be watching Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Costco. Those are my big 7 that I want to watch. I am going to stay in these leaps right now because these are the leaps that I've used in Honeytrip Network. Kind of going to just cash out on these, but then once I cash out on these, I am done. I might get in plays a little bit here and there, but I want to really just stick to these 7 is my big plan. So we'll just do a quick review of these real quick. I don't mind my FI candle here. Hopefully going to continue on this trend, on this upward trend here. It also is bouncing. It broke this 100 EMA line and that's bouncing off, so hopefully going to see good trend continuing on, especially because we're already after earnings. TTD still has this head and shoulders pattern here, so hopefully going to see a rejection of this 50 EMA to continue up. I'm just looking for a good cash out spot. We have earnings on Thursday, so we'll see how that goes. And then Bull just holding bottoms right now, being really annoying. This is not a good engulfing candle that I'm seeing here. So just looking for a good exit point to get out of here, but hopefully going to just hold this maybe till earnings and then get out and then go towards that Mag 7. Alright, so the last thing I have to do is just kind of show you guys my new strategy. Not new strategy, but like what the strategy I'm going with and seeing how it's going to develop over time. So I'm usually just going to look at the weekly candles from now on for looking for good entries. As you see, anytime it comes below this 50 EMA line, this 100 EMA line, and gets near this 200 EMA line, so that was our most recent recessions here and here. So anytime it gets close to these numbers on the weekly especially, is when I'm going to be looking for good buys on these companies. You can go to QQQ, same thing. I am looking for downtrends because, as you see, so far the market only has gone to this top right corner because a bunch of rich people are invested. This is just overall American economy. If you believe it's going to go up, you believe that it's going to go to this top right corner. So anytime that you see these dips down past this 50 EMA line, 100 EMA line, get near this 200 EMA line, you know it's probably good because the market's going to return back to highs. So I'm using that strategy on the weekly, and I'm going to use dailies for my entries here. So when I see these downtrends and this trend to go below way down here, this is usually going to be my entry point. I'm going to try to replicate this on as many of those stocks as I can. So I can show you going through it. QQQ, not going to buy. It's too high. Going to have to wait for it to come back down. So the market's at highs right now. As I go down, Apple too high. Again, I saw Apple back in here, and I should have got in. Hindsight, it was just me early learning how the market's moving. But this is kind of where I'm looking for good eats, the good buy-ins right here. Anything below these lines is kind of where I'm looking for. Amazon, same thing. Actually was dabbling around in Amazon a little bit around here, but again, it's at highs right now, especially with good earnings, so we'll see. Gotta be patient. Nvidia, same thing. It's too high, gotta be patient. Google, same thing, too high, gotta be patient. Microsoft, again, too high, gotta be patient. Hopefully seeing this drop a little bit. If this comes back down to that 450 mark, maybe looking for an entry. Meta had bad earnings, so this is again piquing my interest now. As you see this entry zone right here, when it dropped below that 50 EMA, same thing's happening here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to make little circles on candles that I'm interested in. So when this candle happened, I'm interested in this earnings candle to see how this moved, but again, trended down. So we're going to kind of see where it goes from now on, but really watching Meta as one of my buys to kind of start averaging into. And then same thing with my last company, Costco. Broke below that 50 EMA line, moving towards that 100. Same thing here. Tends to like to project off that 100. Doesn't really tend to get down to that 200 very often. So hopefully going to start averaging in here pretty soon. So I would say for right now, Meta and Costco are my two big ones I'm looking at, but I haven't got in yet. And just so you guys know, these green entries, if it's a green, I'm going to take call options. If I flip it red here, it'll be put options, and then those orange lines are when I'm cashing out, so I'm getting out of it. So that's my general plan, general thoughts, kind of how I'm going to continue to operate my weekly market thoughts. If you guys like this, great. And you're just going to kind of analyze them. Don't take this as financial advice, but kind of play off how I'm playing, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong. It's more for me just to track myself. So if you guys are watching, I appreciate y'all, and we out.